back now to the situation in KZN, where the entire process behind KwaZulu-Natal's 100 million rand Youth Fund is now going to be re-evaluated following serious allegations of political interference and irregularities into how beneficiaries were selected, along with the resignation of the former Director General, Dr. Modise, who reportedly clashed with officials over questionable approvals. Premier Thami Ntuli is now meeting with fund recipients in Durban, where he's announced there'll be a reassessment of the process. Newzroom Afrika's Nobuhle Modise following that story. Nobuhle, good morning to you. What's the latest?
A very good morning, Stephen, once again. So the Premier has addressed the recipients of that fund, and he has made an announcement that there will be a reassessment and re-evaluation of the entire process following, allegations of political interference. I do have the Premier here with me, Premier Thami Ntuli, to answer, to some of this, considering the fact that, Premier, thank you very much once again, considering the fact that, you have announced here today that you will be re-evaluating and reassessing the entire program. This will affect these beneficiaries that are here today, should some of those that have been here be withdrawn from the process. I asked you earlier, there were some political parties who had written to your office asking that before you announce these beneficiaries, this entire process be re-evaluated, and you went ahead, and now you're announcing that there will be a reassessment and re-evaluation. How is this going to affect the beneficiaries that are here?
Well, I must first and foremost clarify that there are no political parties that wrote to me. It's different to write to the Premier and to go to the public and tell the public something that you have not done, and then you say you have done it. The reason for the reassessment is to ensure that there is integrity in the process. As much as I have confidence over the former Director General, together with the officials that were engaged with the process. But it's important that since there is an allegation to uphold the high integrity of my office, an assessment then is done. If then there is someone who might have benefited wrongful so, like others who couldn't be shortlisted because of failing to meet some requirements, will have to be subjected to that second opportunity to apply in the next phase, but knowing exactly where he or she faltered. It's a very important program, this one, because in KwaZulu-Natal, you know that the youth, majority of our youth, they are unemployed, subjected to poverty. As a result, some of them, they are engaged in drugs and also in crime. This empowerment is important to address the issue of the growth of the economy, to address the issue of the youth that is unemployed, since there are two categories. The first one, less than 50,000 rand for those who are new in business, and the second one, from 50,000 to 2 million to those who are expanding or who are engaging on a different adventure but already have been in business, of which there must be proof of that, which then that is what will be reassessed. And we are having the workshop today so that we start a journey of aftercare, ensuring that they do not fail along the way, and we also even connect them to other institutions that have grants so that they will expand more, because we want them to participate much at a larger scale at the growth of our economy, and even ensuring that we realize new job opportunities, because there will be employers. Some already they are employers, and some they will be employers. And the assessment will also have to give an assurance to my office that for those who couldn't make it, there is a response to them which is categoric, telling them that next time when you apply, this is the area in which you need to pay attention to, so that you also become successful. There are more than 3,000 applicants in the program. Hence, the few that benefited, we must really have confidence that they are really not going to fail along the way. We do not spend the public money on the people who are not showing some evidence of strength in terms of their businesses.
And Premier, let's address the elephant in the room. I mean, there's been allegations that your former Director General, Dr. Modise, resigned as a result of facing gender-based violence from another senior manager in the office of the Premier with regards to this particular fund, where she alleges that she was forced to sign off on some documents that didn't follow the due process with regards to this particular funding here. Can you confirm that you did receive the resignation and that she was meant to serve her notice? And reports also allude to the fact that you, when she sent in her resignation, you in fact terminated the contract before she could even serve her notice.
Well, first and foremost, she's still serving a notice until, according to her request or a letter, until the 4th of July. She's still serving the notice. The issue of resignation, you know, we have been with the former DG in my office. When I came, they were saying, why am I keeping her? Because she's attending some serious cases in court. Then I said, well, in my view, on the contract that she has with government, there is no internal process that has proven that is not supposed to be in the office. We have been working quite very well. And when she resigned, it was with immediate effect. That was the first line, that is with immediate effect, and but will serve the notice. Hence, what we did was all within the parameters of the regulations that regulate the public servants. That the executive authority may, in fact, decide that you serve the notice but at home, or you serve notice at work. So I invoked, in fact, one of the sections. But on the issue of the reason for resignation, on the letter of resignation, she thanked government for affording her an opportunity. And there was nothing. She resigned on Wednesday. Thursday, there was nothing. Friday, there was nothing. Until on a Sunday, I saw an SMS saying she's requesting to see me, and there's a document that is sending to me. Mm-hmm. And then, indeed, on the following week, Monday, I wanted already to have a meeting with her, because I received a report from the acting Deputy Director General, Mr. Ntuli, that there was an altercation that involved her as the Director General in the office. At the same time, I also wanted to officially accept resignation. And then we met. She received the acceptance, and then she reported that though she resigned, she was not happy with the altercation that took place, since she has provided a report to me. Then she received my letter of acceptance. I informed her that I've already started an investigation, because I cannot decide whether the subordinate of the former DG was the one who was on the wrong side, or the former DG herself. Unfortunately, they both resigned. The former DG resigned, and while I was busy with the investigation, the subordinate of the DG, the director, got an employment in Johannesburg, and then also resigned with immediate effect.
Is this the person who is said to have
altercation with? Yeah, the one who had an altercation. They are all out of the system now. They've all resigned. But I said we must continue with the investigation, because there are many people who saw the altercation. Some of them, I'm still waiting for their responses to tell me what transpired, so that I will determine whether it was a GBV issue directed to the director or directed to the former DJ. I will determine that after receiving this. And the other issue is the issue of the footage. We are still even looking for the footage. But we will continue to investigate, because my office will never tolerate any GBV. I'm championing a fight against GBV in the province. So if then it is in my office wherein there will be such allegations, I take them serious.
I'm a bit confused, Premier, because over the weekend you put out a statement that said her version of events weren't true. Why is it then that you had said this in your statement?
No, it was the sequence of the events that where I felt they were inaccurate in terms of what happened and how it happened. For an example, the issue of saying I was aware of the resignation, that there was a problem of the alleged GBV. That no, when I received the statement, I mean the resignation, it was just a pure resignation. That is why I also issued a statement to thank her for the service she has rendered in our government.
Thank you very much. That is Premier Thami Ntuli giving his version of events with regards to the sudden resignation of the former Director General of the Office of the Premier, Dr. Modise, who has since resigned. And you would have heard the Premier there saying that she is indeed still serving her notice. However, at the moment, with regards to this engagement that's going on here between those beneficiaries and the department, the Acting Director General of the department, who's now been appointed, is the one that is facilitating the process here. But we will try and get Dr. Modise so she can speak to us about her side of the story, as she put out a statement. So as well did the Office of the Premier.
Thank you very much indeed for that update there. And of course, so much going on around the KwaZulu-Natal